Welcome back, another week, another video. Between all the progress in the prototype space vehicles and recent launches, we think it is important to look back to the International Space Treaty, signed way back and effective since 1967. So we hope this video can share some light on one of the most important treaties for the future.
One of the factors of the Outer Space Treaty was the Cold War, a period of geopolitical tension between the Soviet Union and the United States, as well as their respective allies, the Eastern and the Western Bloc. After World War II, they had a very different economic and socio-political system, which is what started the space race in the first place.
The Outer Space Treaty, formerly the Treaty on Principles governing the activities of states in exploration and use of outer space, including the Moon and other spatial bodies, is a treaty that forms the basis of international space law. The treaty was open for signature in the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union on 27 January of 1967 and entered into force on 10 October 1967. As of June 2020, 110 countries are parties to the treaty, while another 23 have signed the treaty but have not completed ratification.
Taiwan, which is currently recognized by 14 UN member states, ratified the treaty before the United Nations General Assembly voted to transfer China's seat to the People's Republic of China in 1971. The Outer Space Treaty has 17 articles, but we have summarized the most important ones for you. Outer space, including the Moon and other celestial bodies, shall be free for exploration and use by all states without discrimination of any kind, on a basis of equality and in accordance with international law, and they shall be free access to all areas of the celestial bodies.
Outer space, including the Moon and other celestial bodies, is not subject to national appropriation by claim of sovereignty through use of occupation or by any other means. States parties to the treaty shall carry on activities in the exploration and use of outer space, including the Moon and other celestial bodies, by international law, including the Charter of United Nations, in the interest of maintaining international peace. States parties to the treaty undertake not to place in orbit around the Earth any objects carrying nuclear weapons or any other kinds of weapons of mass destruction, install such weapons on celestial bodies, or station such weapons in outer space in any other manner. The establishment of military bases, installation of fortification, the testing of any type of weapons, and the conduct of military maneuvers on celestial bodies shall be forbidden.
State parties to the treaty shall regard astronauts as envoys of mankind in outer space, and shall render to them all possible assistance in the event of an accident, distress, or an emergency landing on the territory of another state party. State parties to the treaty shall immediately inform discoveries in outer space, including the Moon and other celestial bodies, which could constitute a danger to the life or health of astronauts. Participants shall bear international responsibility for national activities in outer space, including the Moon and other celestial bodies, whether such activities are carried out by government agencies or by non-government entities.
It's in need of the treaty that launches or procures the launching of an object into outer space is internationally liable for damage to another participant to the treaty or its natural or juridical persons by such object or its parts. All station installation, equipment, and space vehicles on the Moon and other celestial bodies shall be open to representatives of other states parties to the treaty on basis of reciprocity.
This treaty, of which the Chinese, English, French, Russian, and Spanish texts are equally authentic, shall be deposited in the archives of the depository governments. Duly certified copies of this treaty shall be transmitted by the depository governments to the governments of the signatory and acceding states. This was done in triplicate at the cities of London, Moscow, and Washington, D.C. on the 27th of January 1967.
The International Space Treaty has since been reinforced by multiple separate follow-ups, such as the Rescue Agreement of 1988, the Space Liability Convention of 1972, the Registration Convention of 1976, and the Moon Treaty of 1979, which failed to be ratified by any major spacefaring nation.
With constant missions into space by various nations and multi-billion-dollar companies, the necessity to enforce this treaty is at an all-time high, and the importance continues to rise. Well, that was our summarized version of the International Outer Space Treaty, and we hope to have covered the most important points. What do you think? Do let us know in the comments section below.
Please click on the subscribe button, turn the bell on, and share it with your friends if you like it. See you in the next video.